Hello again, I'm Gibegi, instructor and coordinator of experiential education at the College of DuPage. In the summer of 2009 and again in 2013, I brought a group of students to New England on two different field studies. The first was to backpack the tremendous presidential traverse of the Appalachian Trail in New Hampshire. The second was on a multi-sport adventure in Acadia National Park. Both of these classes culminated with a full day in historic Boston, where we traveled back in time to our country's infancy with a walk along the Freedom Trail. The Freedom Trail is a short 2.5-mile urban walk that passes 16 significant landmarks in United States history. The winding path is easy to follow as a red brick trail marker winds through historic Boston, and the notable locations are highlighted with a special marker. The journey begins in Boston Common. Established in 1634, this is the oldest city park in the country. Historically, the grounds were used as a camp for British armies before the American Revolution, and up until 1817 it was the site of public hangings. The park is also home to the first monument that celebrates the valor of African Americans in the military. Here you can see Colonel Robert Gould Shaw leading a volunteer infantry to fight the South in the Civil War. Across from the bronze sculpture is the Massachusetts State House. Built on land originally owned by John Hancock, the cornerstone was laid in 1795 with the help of American Revolution patriot Paul Revere. Nearby, at the Granary Burying Ground, you can find the final resting place of Paul Revere, in addition to 5 victims of the Boston Massacre and 3 signers of the Declaration of Independence. Being the largest building in Boston at the time, thousands of colonists gathered here at the Old South Meeting House on December 16, 1773. Later that day, 92,000 pounds of tea were dumped into the harbor as a political protest. This event, better known as the Boston Tea Party, was the tipping point that later led to the American Revolution. 3 years earlier, near one of the oldest public buildings in the United States called the Old State House, another historic event that helped nurture the Revolution occurred. A conflict between colonists and a single British soldier quickly escalated into the frenzied slaughter that forever became known as the Boston Massacre. Paul Revere's famous midnight ride began when the signal, "One if by land, two if by sea," was relayed from the Old North Church. The USS Constitution, better known as Old Ironsides, is the world's oldest naval vessel still afloat. Though it was launched after the American Revolution, the ship was particularly important during another conflict with the United Kingdom, this time the War of 1812. The final stop on the Freedom Trail commemorates the first major battle of the American Revolution, the Battle of Bunker Hill. The Freedom Trail is an excellent way to see Boston and thoroughly experience the people and places that were instrumental in the early history of our country.